Hello everybody, my name is Bling, and today we are playing Warframe. Now today I want to talk about one of my favorite frames in the game, Oberon Prime. Now, Oberon Prime is a very strong frame in my opinion because he is able to fulfill a lot of roles in this game. And when people sort of argue against Oberon, well, argue might not be the best word, it's more like sort of discourage, I guess, using Oberons, because while Oberon does do many things, there are other frames in the game that just do specific things that he does just better in almost every shape and form. Like for example, Oberon can heal, but why bring Oberon to heal when you can bring Trinity to heal when her heal is instant and it gives a percentage of damage reduction for a period of time to go with that instant heal. Why bring Oberon to try and crowd control with his radiation products when you can just bring a Nidus or a Volbin or any of those other really good crowd control frames to just do that a lot more consistently and a lot better. And those are very sound arguments, very valid, but my sort of rebuttal to that would be that Oberon just does so many things while not exactly at a top tier level. He does them at a very decent level, well, even decent to even good level, and he just does more things. Like for example, there's no frame in the game that can give a pretty strong heal over time, a pretty good armor buff, decent crowd control with the radiation prop, and remove armor with his combining his 2 and his 4, and even provide a damage buff with his augment for his 1, which you see that I'm running on my build here even. And while he doesn't do any of those things like I said earlier at that top tier level, it's just the fact that you have so much in one frame that I think makes him sort of shine over the other top tier frames in the game. And I don't think anybody would say that Oberon is a very low tier frame. Like, he's great. Like, he's definitely, if I were to put like tiers in Warframe, as ridiculous as that may sound, and have S tier to be the highest, I definitely have Oberon at like the A plus, or maybe just the A category, or A tier rather. He's a strong frame. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about the build right here. This is a very basic build. However, I will say that you may notice I only have one forma on my Oberon, so I sort of have this sort of efficiency deficiency, I guess you could say, going on. So I definitely do prefer to use my Oberon in higher level content like mock survival or long survivals or defenses on the higher level planets, because I'm really looking to get my energy back via rage, having enemies attack me, something that's very easy to do in mod because you have a shotgunner hit you and you basically just get like 100 energy almost just with that. And it's very nice because Oberon can tank some shotgunner hits. He can definitely take some shotgunner hits from mod, 3 or 4 even, and that's a lot for a shotgunner in mod. Most other not tanky frames, they'll just die in 1 or 2 shotgun hits from those dudes. So it's pretty nice. And like I said earlier, I'm running this augment for his 1 called Smite Infusion. It scales off of power strength, and giving your party members 220% or however much power strength you have radiation damage buff, it's pretty nice. It's definitely a pretty decent buff to their weapon damage, and it's just really nice, and it lasts for like a whole 60 seconds, whole minute even, which I guess is the cap. I'm not sure, but I would assume that it's the cap. And it's just strong. Oberon is just a very strong supportive frame, and I really like having that augment to give him that sort of extra support. I'm gonna go ahead and look at his abilities and see how his how the build is affecting his abilities. Now, Smite, Smite is a very strong first ability. Any frame that has those first abilities that just sort of target one or multiple enemies and they just shoot it off, and they can reload while doing it, usually those abilities are always pretty good. Like for example, not just Smite, but Volt's Shock, Necros's Soul Punch or whatever, it will knock down an enemy, and it's just pretty nice for just controlling. Like, it's not like hard crowd control, but if you see like a bombard or a heavy gunner or an ancient or something like that, and they're just giving you trouble, you can just hit them with smite, knock them down, and go over there and take care of them. And it's good. It's even better with smite because it sends off all those little particles that'll hit other enemies, and sort of I believe it hits them with an impact proc, and it'll make them stagger, and sometimes it'll inflict radiation, which will give you a little bit of crowd control. That's just very nice. It's very nice. Strong ability. Now, Hollow Ground, not much to say about Hollow Ground on its own, other than it does prevent status effects. It removes and prevents status effects. So if you see a bombard or an ancient heavy gunner, they're trying to knock you down, you're not going to get knocked down. So they basically become a lot less annoying. You can just take care of them and not worry about getting knocked down, and having like a shotgunner or I believe they're called MOAs, those little things that shoot the lasers at you. You don't have to worry about them coming up on you and just doing tons of damage to you while you're down, so that they become a lot less of a problem. On the renewal, this is Oberon's bread and butter. This is what really sets him. This is his saving grace, I guess you could say. He gives you that armor buff, that 440 armor buff in my case, even more with more strength if you have it on him. It gives that heal over time, 88 health a second. It's pretty good. It stays indefinitely as long as you keep the ability up. It's pretty strong. It's definitely nice to have, and it's what really turns Oberon to a support frame, being able to help keep his teammates alive. And onto his 4, there's not much to say about his 4 Reckoning. The damage is decent, but it really falls off the higher level you go. What really matters here is that armor reduction. You combine it with his 2, and enemies will lose a percentage of their armor. In my case, it's 66%, and that's a lot of armor, especially against those really high armor units. As a matter of fact, 66% armor reduction, you do that once, and they're basically just paper thin. You just chew right through them, and they're basically dead. They're not a problem anymore. It does a little blind, and that's completely negligible, honestly. I guess it could be nice for enemies that are like a really tight space, but most of the time those enemies are going to be getting hit with Reckoning anyway, so it's not really that important. But yeah, that crowd control that it gives, as well as that armor debuff rather, is really strong. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. I do have a little bit of footage showing how his kit works together, and that's pretty much all there is to say. He's a really strong frame. I really like him. I enjoy him a whole lot. Also, I guess I could show off my weapon builds here. Those really don't matter at all. Since I'm using them, I may as well show it, I guess. This is my board prime build. Nothing too crazy, pretty basic, just 100% status. What more could you really want on your board prime other than 100% status? Yeah, not much else there. Arca Cisco, I like this weapon a lot. It's a strong weapon. I think it definitely can remove armor. I like the buff that it gets when you hit enemies continuously. It gives like a 20% status chance and crit chance, I believe. It's pretty good. I like it a lot. Definitely one of my favorite sidearms. This is my Broken War. I don't really use it at all. It's just something there. I don't really care too much about melee. I will say that I'm very excited for Grand Prime, because I've always been a big fan of the Grams design, or the redesign rather. And I definitely want a Prime version of it where it's actually a competent weapon. And I would definitely be carrying that with me at almost all times whenever it comes out. Very excited for that. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video might make you sort of reconsider Oberon if you have very poor thoughts about him, and maybe it will make you want to use him. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, and have a great day. And I'm gonna roll the footage right after that. It's just short 4 to 5 minute footage, nothing very long, just to show him in action. But yeah, thank you guys, and have a great day.